environment and climate change. That is the burning issue of the time that has been focused during the pandemic of COVID-19. It has been discussed for more than 3 decades through the idea of global warming, and it has reached its peak in recent decades, where in Pakistan and India we experience smoke. There are issues of carbon in environment, and uh, rise of temperature up to 2 Celsius or 2 centigrade. So environment has got attention of the whole world. Environment is focus of modern sciences. If we have a glance upon the Nobel Prize winner of physics, chemistry of previous 3 years, we can see who have been acknowledged. These are the scientists who are relating their knowledge with environment. In literature, we see environmental literature as a separate genre has been developed. So first, environment is the whole of surrounding things. Surroundings are defined by central entity. In ecology, environment refers to the surrounding of humankind. So ecology defines environment as surrounding of human race. Environment refers to the biological, physical, and social things on earth or in inhabitable space outside the earth's atmosphere. That's the idea of environment, and that is the environment which has been focus of different forums, including the highest one, I mean United Nations. And United Nations Climate Change Conference. United Nations Climate Change Conference was recently held, I mean 30th November 2021. That conference was held in Glasgow, a capital city of Scotland. 197 participants attended it. As I mentioned earlier, there are 193 members of United Nations. In fact, in this conference, besides the countries, there were representation of organization, for example, European Union or Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So in this way, the figure reaches to 197, though all the members of UN didn't participate. There were certain members that remained absent. President of the conference was British Minister Alok Sharma. UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, which is abbreviated as UNFCCC, is the parent treaty of 215 Paris Climate Change Agreement. कह सकते हैं कि जो 2021 में अभी डिक्लेरेशन हुआ है, इस डिक्लेरेशन से पहले 2015 में पेरिस क्लाइमेट चेंज एग्रीमेंट हुआ था, जिसको एनफोर्स करने के लिए और जिसको जिसको परसू करने के लिए अब ये कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई है। इससे पहले 1997 में एनवायरनमेंट के इश्यूज से निपटने के लिए क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल प्रेजेंट किए गए थे। हम कह सकते हैं कि एनवायरनमेंट के बारे में सबसे जो डिटेल्ड डॉक्यूमेंट है वर्ल्ड ओवर, दैट इज कॉल्ड क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल। क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल एक्चुअली सजेस्ट द recommendation for the protection of environment. Main aim of the Paris Agreement was to keep a global average temperature rise this century well below 2 Celsius. यानी जो 2 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड या 2 सेल्सियस टेम्परेचर बढ़ चुका है उसको वापस पीछे लेके आना है और उसको नॉर्मल करना। सेकंड पर्पस वाज टू ड्राइव एफर्ट्स टू लिमिट द टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज even further to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level. यानी एक तो जो पिछली एक सेंचुरी में 2 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया वर्ल्ड ओवर, उसको पीछे लेके आना, बल्कि प्री इंडस्ट्रियल वर्ल्ड का जो टेम्परेचर है उस हिसाब से इट बिकम्स 3.5, तो उस तक पहुंचना। Ultimate objective of all agreements is to stabilize greenhouse gas concentration in atmosphere at a level that will prevent dangerous human interference. What are environmental issues which have been focus of Kyoto Protocol? Then a plan of action which we say Paris Agreement, and recently held Glasgow Conference. A variety of environmental problems affect our entire world. As globalization continues, Earth's natural processes transform local problems into international issues. These problems include acid rain, तेजाबी बारिश भी इसे हम कहते हैं, एयर पोल्यूशन, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, हैजर्डस वेस्ट, ओजोन डिप्लीशन, स्मोक, वाटर पोल्यूशन, ओवर पॉपुलेशन एंड रेन फॉरेस्ट डिस्ट्रक्शन. Acid rain refers to what scientists called acid deposition. यानी साइंस में जो टेक्निकली एसिड डिपोजिशन की टर्म है वो जर्नलिज्म में, मीडिया में, कॉमन पीपल के लिए एसिड रेन कहलाती है. एसिड डिपोजिशन is caused by airborne acidic pollutants and has highly destructive results. Acid rain cannot be seen. The invisible gases that cause acid rain usually come from automobiles or coal burning power plants. We can imagine coal burning power plants are so dangerous for environment, and our previous government, I mean Shahbaz Sharif government, that launched coal or thermal coal burning power plants. Primary causes of acid rain are sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides are chemicals that are released by industrial process. And as a result, more industrialized nations of Europe as well as America suffer from acid rain. So, emission of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide cause acid rain. And the world that is industrialized, that is its victim. Sulfur dioxide comes from power plants that use coal as their fuel. Second source is automobile that produce about half of the world's nitrogen oxide. Though human causes are primarily responsible for acid rain, There are natural causes of acid rain, which include fires, volcanic eruptions, bacterial decomposition, and lightning. They also increase amount of nitrogen oxide on this planet. Once the tiny polluted molecules have entered the atmosphere, they can travel for thousands of miles. Eventually, the particles will combine with other compounds to produce harmful chemicals. Acid rain comes down to the earth in form of rain, snow, hail, fog, frost, or dew. Once it reaches the ground, acidity in the substance can harm and destroy natural ecosystem and human uh, ecosystem. Effects of acid rain include acid rain affects aquatic ecosystem, acid rain affects trees and plants, acid rain affects the buildings. What are solutions of acid rain? First, fuel should consumption of fuel should be decreased, or use coal with a low sulfur content instead of high sulfur content, and find alternate means of fuel. Installation of sulfur cleaning scrubbers in factories, that is another solution. Washing sulfur out of coal and finding new methods of burning coal. Individuals can help by conserving energy or driving their car less. Government can pass laws restricting pollution levels or can use a variety of methods such as tradable emission, air pollution. Another environmental issue is air pollution. Average person inhales about 20,000 liters of air. Every time we breathe, we risk inhaling dangerous chemicals that have found their way into the air. In city of Lahore, we experience that, you can say, air in the days of smoke. Air pollution includes all contaminants found in atmosphere, which can be either in the form of gases or particles. Air pollution can be found both outdoor and indoor. Pollutants can be trapped inside buildings, causing indoor pollution. Human beings have been producing increasing amount of pollution as time has passed. Its causes include industrialization. Industrialization set in the motion the widespread use of fossil fuel. तो जितना fossil fuel यानी जिसमें कार्बन शामिल है वो यूज किया जाता है, it means oil, gas, coal, etc. That causes pollution. Population growth causes the demand for food and other goods, and for that purpose, natural resources are destroyed. Globalization is also a facilitator of air pollution because of the use or massive use of vehicles. Effects of air pollution include effects on humans, animals, trees, and wider environment. It's one effect is damaging respiratory system and adverse effects on lungs. Its solution is thought preserving, preventing a problem before it occurs policy that can people may try to restrict population growth. People can decrease use of energy. People can improve energy efficiency. They can reduce waste. They can move to non-polluting renewable forms of energy, and automobile produced pollution can be decreased with beneficial results. Highly discussed problem of environment is global warming. As I mentioned, it was professed in 80s that rise in temperature will bring about seasonal changes, and it will cause storms, floods. Global warming, also known as the greenhouse effect, immediately received international attention. Scientists, environmentalists, and government around the world took an interest in global warming. Global warming is called the greenhouse effect because the gases that are gathering above the earth make the planet comparable to a greenhouse. यानी ग्लोबल वार्मिंग जो है उसका दूसरा नाम ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट है, और इसको ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट इसलिए कहते हैं कि जमीन के ऊपर जो गैसों का मजमुआ है उसको ग्रीन हाउस के साथ कंपेयर कर सकते हैं. बाय ट्रैपिंग द हीट नियर द सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ, ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट इज वार्मिंग द प्लेनेट. और ये ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट जो है ये प्लेनेट को जो है वार्म कर रहा है, थ्रेटन कर रहा है. इट विल cause massive changes. Global warming has a variety of causes. Its general problem of overpopulation is its biggest cause. Different gases can increase the planet's temperature. Number of different products and human activities that contribute to global warming are different. Using a refrigerator releases dangerous gases. Turning on the lights requires energy from a power plant, and driving to work causes gas emissions from the car. So these are ordinary examples which ultimately produce effect on greenhouse and contribute for the rise in temperature. Though having an atmosphere is important, greenhouse effect may be making it excessively thick. Its effects are numerous. And because of slow process of its effects, some scientists are questioning that global warming theory. Climate changes that will result from global warming are extremely difficult to predict. Weather is determined by so many factors that it is compared to chaos by scientists. Mean एक फैक्टर नहीं है वेदर चेंज का, लेकिन जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग थ्योरिस्ट है वो समझते हैं कि राइज इन टेम्परेचर इज रीजन ऑफ चेंज इन वेदर और सीजन साइकिल. If do temperatures rises significantly, the most important result would be some portion of the polar ice caps would melt, raising global sea levels. Threat of global warming is a global issue that can be addressed by addressing its causes that include overpopulation, deforestation, ozone depletion, garbage dumping, and other factors. certain laws uh, and treaties are aimed at reducing the emission of pollutants that result in global warming. Most important, I have mentioned in the beginning, Kyoto Protocol, which is the international conference on changing atmosphere in which Kyoto Protocol was finalized. Policies of raising fossil fuels, taxing emissions, and encouraging people to take environment-friendly action can help to control global warming. The rise in sea level would be disastrous for some places. Island would disappear, which means millions of inhabitants would have to relocate or they will face flood. Flooding would occur along coastlines all over the world, displace the people and ruin cropland. In case of major global warming and melted ice caps, some countries might simply cease to exist. Another issue of global environment is rainforest destruction. Amazon is actually hub of rainforest that's in South America, particularly Brazil, and that's the biggest environment issues in South America. Rainforests are quickly destroyed and their survival is questionable. So rainforest को मल्टीपल रीजन के से काटा जा रहा है. उसमें एक जो रीजन है वो फ्यूल की जरूरत को पूरा करने के लिए है, दूसरा कल्टीवेशन की जरूरत को पूरा करने के लिए है. इस पार्ट को मैं थोड़ा स्किप किया है. इसके जो काजेज है, काजेज आर लॉगिंग. Commercial logging companies cut down mature trees that have been selected for their timber. पाकिस्तान में रेन फॉरेस्ट डिस्ट्रक्शन नहीं है, लेकिन डिफॉरेस्टेशन जो एक इससे मिलता जुलता कॉन्सेप्ट है कि दरख्तों का कटाव, जंगलात का कटाव, वो बहुत ज्यादा है. और उसके फैक्टर्स यहाँ कुछ रिसेम्बलेंस रखते हैं, जैसे लॉगिंग का फैक्टर है, टिम्बर माफिया है, एग्रीकल्चरल शिफ्टेड कल्टीवेटर्स. ये शिफ्टेड कल्टीवेटर्स जो है ये साउथ अमेरिका के वो लोग हैं जो रेन फॉरेस्ट में के इलाकों में आ गए हैं और वहां उन्होंने फार्मिंग शुरू किया और फार्मिंग शुरू करके उन्होंने फॉरेस्ट को तबाह किया. लेकिन हमारे मुल्कों में देखें तो पॉपुलेशन के लिए, सिटीज बनाने के लिए, उनकी आबादकारी के लिए जो है वो जंगलों को काटा जा रहा है. जिस तरह एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड को जो है वो हाउसिंग सोसाइटीज में कन्वर्ट किया जा रहा है. फ्यूल वुड एक बहुत बड़ी रीजन है डिफॉरेस्टेशन की भी और रेन फॉरेस्ट डिस्ट्रक्शन की भी. डैम्स बनाए जा रहे हैं. कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ डैम्स नॉट ओनली डिस्ट्रॉयज द फॉरेस्ट but uproots tens of thousands of people and destroy their land and their culture. Mining and industry development lead to direct forest loss due to the clearing of land to establish projects. तो बहुत सारे जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं वो एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ इन्वायरमेंट हो रहे हैं. हम जो ये टेक्नोलॉजी यूज कर रहे हैं, ऑटोमेटिज्म या आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की, इसने अमेरिका में सैन फ्रांसिस्को और उसके आसपास के इलाकों को किस तरह से जो है वो बर्बाद किया है, उसकी कीमत पर ही ये सारी जो है वो टेक्नोलॉजीज आगे बढ़ रही है. तो माइनिंग इज अ थ्रेट टू इन्वायरमेंट, इंडस्ट्री इज अ थ्रेट टू इन्वायरमेंट. टूरिज्म, for the sake of tourism, national parks are made to protect rainforest. Yet national parks are open to public. Tourism also damage some areas. So I have shared